How are we, lads? Welcome back to another episode of Finn's Farm Life. So it is Sunday. There's been a quite enough week now, to be fair. Just been doing kind of the basic stuff, grass walks, fertiliser. Nothing major has gone on this week. So I'm here on my own at the moment. So just after doing the mix. So it is a fairly small mix. But in fairness, it turned out fairly well. So it is one bale of silage, which came up to there's about 400 kilos of nuts. One bale of silage, which brought it up to about a ton, and then about 2 ton of a mix of pit silage and whole crop. So only doing about 3 ton at the moment. We were doing about 4 or 5, but there's so much grass outside there now. I'll be going out there now in a minute, I'll show you. It's just taken off in the last week since we had that heat wave. That was about 30 degrees, and then it kind of got a good shot of rain. The grass is just bouncing out of the ground. I have 2 cows in at the moment. So I have this lady, she was just in for AI, so she's just there because the cows are actually up the very back of the farm. You actually can't see from here, but they're all the way up the back. So I went up and locked them in and just said I'd leave her in altogether. And this one then, you can actually see it, but you can see she's kind of bloated out on this side here. So we had the vet out for her. When did we have the vet out for her? The vet out for her yesterday. So basically he pumped her and put stuff into her. He said it's frothy bloat. The field they were in, which is just over the wall, they grazed that 2 days ago. Basically she came in the following morning. She came in yesterday morning, so they grazed it Friday morning and Friday evening. And when she came in, say Saturday morning, she was bloated out on that side. So I said, right, I called the vet. So the vet came out, had a look at her. Said it's because I thought he'd just vent her, because that's normally what happens. And he said, no, we won't vent her. We'll pump her, put this stuff into it, dissolves the foam, and she should go back to normal. Now, she is improving. She wasn't eating at all yesterday. She is starting to eat now and getting a mix into her, kind of a higher fibre, nuts and stuff like that is probably better for her than grass, because there's a potential again that she could get kind of more frothy kind of bloat from it. But the main reason she got it in there is because it's probably the highest percentage of clover cover on the farm, so it is a high risk field. But thankfully she came in. She wasn't that bad in the morning. We were going to just give her bread soda and hope that it come down herself. But by the time I went down, bought the bread soda and came back up, she was blown out even more. So the vet came out. So she's improving. She'll probably stay in again tonight. But yeah, she should be okay. It's just going to take time. Didn't milk her this morning. I came out and had a look at her, and she just had no milk. So I just said I'm not going milking her now for no reason. So I left her out here with the mix. I put her into the drafting pin and milked the cows and put her back in then after milking. So that's that job done. We'll just do I'll just close these doors here now as well. I'll give you a quick update on the shed as well. Come on, bro. Sorry, no. Oh, come on, door. So we'll do a quick rundown on the shed. I'll just show you I'll give you kind of an idea of what's kind of happening. So we had a few weeks ago. We had a fella out doing drawings. Well, not drawings, he was taking measurements to go and do drawings for the shed. So we had to rejig a few things. The original design wasn't going to work, so then we were going to try a different design, and then that was kind of working out a bit arseways, so we've changed the design again. So essentially here, same as the whole lot, is just the wall coming down. But except now, originally what we were going to do was turn the whole peak of the roof and put the peak of the roof going down the centre. so the roofs will come in like that. But now what the idea is that we're going to lift this wall all the way up and bring the peak roof off that. So basically the wall on this side is going to be the same height as the wall on that side, so that the load, say the diet feeder, the zero grazer, the whole lot can drive in, say along our feed passage, which is going to be just beyond the that concrete pad there. That's our feed passage. So now we're going to have a taller wall here, same height wall there, and the peak roof is going to go up and sit up there, so it's going to be way higher and come back down again. So we're just going to have one big peak roof and take everything under the one roof. Well, from here out, like obviously doors are staying the same, but from here out is going to be one peak roof. So he was on about coming to do, say started, I think he said this week. He said like 2 weeks time, but that was 2 weeks ago, so we're hoping this week he lands on to, and he said after he arrives on, it shouldn't take a whole pile of time for the shed, which is the steel, the walls, to go up, and then we'll have to put in the cubicles and the feed barriers. But we haven't heard anything yet, so we don't fully know. And yeah, it's kind of just up in the air at the moment, because they could arrive on this week or they might not, so we don't know. Another thing while we're out here, I meant to show you the last day, but these are how the pits are sitting at the moment. So 200 and I think we said 200 and what did we put in there? First cut went in 70 acres and 26 acres. So I think we said 210 acres went in there. And then there's 26 acres of whole crop in that, and there's about 160 acres of silage on top of that. So those two pits are done, so we're finished. But we're only finished out here. So the reason I put so much whole crop into that mix, as I was saying earlier on, is because we have 14 acres of whole crop that's being grown. That's basically, we grow whole crop when we're reseeding, if we're reseeding a big block, because essentially what allows us to do it in is, if it gets dry, the barley will protect the grass. This year it wasn't needed, but we're not going to say no to 14 acres whole crop. So that's coming from the out block. That ground was reseeded there not too long ago, and this was planted with it. So that's going to be ready within the next probably 10 days, 2 weeks. So once that's ready, that's going into the pit that I'm taking the whole crop out of, which is, you'll be able to see it from here, but just there at the far side of that shed is the whole crop pit. It's a narrow, kind of a short, narrow pit, perfect for 14 acres of whole crop. And then what's going on top of that then is, I'll show you now. Well, we're hoping, so anyway, we have to get it tested yet. But we're going cutting the road field again. So this was cut about a month ago this weekend, and it is, I spread it I think 2 days after I spread it about 2 days after we picked it the last day, and we're probably sitting at, there's probably 1, 2, 3, there's probably about maybe 2,000, maybe 2,500 kilos dry matter in it. But we said, because of the sheer size of the two first pits, first and second cut, our next few cuts, we're not aiming for bulk, we're not aiming for just sheer amount of silage. We're going to cut kind of high quality stuff, try and do 2 more cuts in the next 10 weeks, so that we have, even if we got it to produce not even 4 ton, like not even 4,000 kilos, even if it was 3,000, like this is probably, like I'm saying 2, but it's most likely probably 2.5, maybe closer to 3, if I've done a proper walk through it. But this needs to be tested for nitrogen, because it's only been 4 weeks since I spread it. I spread it with a bag, bag and a half of protected urea, which will be 70 units of nitrogen. So that got spread. So we're hoping now, because of the weather, with all the rain, the heat, and the sheer amount of growth that this field has had, that we might be able to cut it if the nitrogen's gone out of it. So that's the plan, because otherwise we'll be going looking for fields and looking for bits to go up on top of the whole crop. Because if there's one thing you do not do, is put whole crop in and not put grass over it. So that's the plan. Be a good savage cut of just high quality silage, and that'll be perfect in for the springtime when the cows calve down, and it'll be stuffed in that we have to get the cows milking good on at the very start of the season. Thankfully, the first time, I'm going to say it's because I spread it, but it is fairly even. Normally out by the headlands you kind of get a bit yellow, so thankfully it seems to have spread and grown fairly evenly, fairly consistent, so I'm happy enough with it anyway. But yeah, that's the plan with this. But this is now going to be this cut off this field is going to be the last cut of silage we take off this one, and it's going into the grazing block, and 3 paddocks are coming out then to go into the 3 paddocks go into reseeding. So that's the plan with this. So yeah, it's just a matter now of getting in here now. I think we're going to test it kind of early this week, Tuesday or Wednesday I'd say, and if there's no nitrogen in it, next weekend is meant to be a good weekend weather wise. We'll probably bring in the whole crop, if the whole crop is ready, which is not far off to be honest, and bring that in, have this mowed and have it all gone. So that's the plan anyway. So we'll walk over now. I can't remember if I went through it with you or not, but we had a new addition to the fleet of gear that's inside this place. So we'll go over and I'll show you it, because I can't remember if I showed you it in my last video, which I don't think I did, because I didn't do much video of the mowing because it was kind of hectic. So this time I will get a good video of the mowing and all that kind of crack, just have a bit more time, because last time was just it was so hectic. It was literally just 1 minute we weren't mowing, next minute it was all systems go and we're mowing everything. So I didn't get much time to prep, my camera wasn't charged, just I wasn't ready for nothing. So this time I'll be ready. But yeah, I'll just show you now a bit up more up close. But that pit there is going to be where whole crop is gone. It is perfect because you don't have a massive face of whole crop, so it's not going to go mouldy, like, so, which is the one thing we don't want, and it's an issue we did have with that, because another thing you can't have as well is if you have dry grass on top of the whole crop, it's bad as well. So right, fair trek across the yard now, to go down, so you never really notice until you walk it. Jeez, probably get out of the way. Here's what I'm on about. A fine set of triples. So that was the original front mower that was here all the time, and then bought the back mowers and the front mower. So a set of triples, and then we still have the Coverland on the back. So they're Pottingers. It's very similar vein, so this one to the other one, just a small bit more modern. She's got a lot more kind of lights and bits and doohickeys and reflectors and all this other kind of crack, but good mower. Only thing is now, we were mowing 2 days ago. Well, we weren't mowing, we're doing mowing for a neighbour, and let's see if I can actually see it. Oh, gee. We don't really hear altogether. the belts on this got burnt, and she got clogged, and the belt snapped. Now, when we're looking at the belts, it looked like they were kind of older belts. Probably should have been changed, but sure, it was literally the second time this mower has been used. So that's to be fixed this week, because we are not leaving that go until we are mowing, because that will delay an awful lot of stuff. But it's a good solid mower. Like, I think it's a 2018, 2019 set of mowers. So all conditioners, they're both 11-foot mowers, so it's 22 foot of actual cutting width, and then with the front mower in, so it's about 32 foot of actual cutting width. And 235 handles it very well. To be quite honest, we went mowing with it. We pulled it out into the field, heavy crops in that second cut, and a lot of it was lodged. She sat down and she mowed like a dream. Now, the grass was very lodged, so there was a few issues, like the grass was sitting down, but nothing the mower could do there. Like, there's nothing we could do. But overall, we're fairly happy with it. So next thing we need to do is, there's a wire loom to come with that front mower that wires in to this, so that you can connect the two of them together, and then it all goes in off the control panel, because at the moment that's running off the hydraulics, whereas what we wanted to do is run off the all of it runs off the load sensing. So what we want to do is connect them all up, so everything's running off the load sensing. You're not using any spools. All you need to use the spools for is your hydraulic top link. Other than that, everything else is fine. So it is like, it's a robust mower. Like, she is good. Like, it takes a savage amount of hydraulic pressure, like, to actually run it. But overall, it's a brilliant mower. So yeah, that's just the update of what's going on and what is coming up. So hopefully next week I will have silage video, another one, and then not long after that again, I'd say about another 3 weeks after that, we'll be doing third cut of everything else, and then 5 weeks after that we'll be going with fourth cut. So we have one long draw in that, and that's going over towards the dare. So there's plenty more to come, but it's just few and far between, to be honest. But I will leave that video here. I just need to go and put up a strip wire, and that's kind of it in for milking. So I'll nothing too interesting, but I just said I'd give you a walk around and show you kind of what's going on and what's coming up. So thank you all for watching. New videos weekly. Like, subscribe, do all the good things, and I will talk to you in the next one.